People who honk in traffic jams, what are you trying to achieve? Mostly just looking for another SUV to mate with. Preferably nice tires, low gas mileage. I always think it's like geese. Geese just honk for honking's sake. I honk at people who look like they aren't paying attention and are about to crash into me. I don't just honk cause I'm mad that I'm sitting there. Because the fucking idiot in the F-150 keeps trying to merge into my car and won't quit texting. Edit, to everyone saying just let them merge, I'm talking about people leaving their lane because they're too busy on their phone and aren't paying attention to the road. I'm not talking about people deliberately trying to change lanes. I honk in support of others' honkings. Whitman called it a barbaric yawp. They've taken everything else away from us. It's our one way to say to the world, I am here. Starting a music band, you're going to be there for a while. Might as well make it entertaining. People rarely join me and get angry at me though. I don't honk in traffic jams, but I often wonder if doing so would create a cascade of honking that would carry to the front and get whatever jackass is causing the traffic jam to figure his shit out. I assume this is why people do it. I think it's a regional/cultural thing. I never heard mass honking in the western Canadian cities I've lived in. One time there was one solitary woman leaning on the horn in a Calgary traffic jam and you could see other drivers turning to stare at her with a "what the hell are you doing?" expression on their faces. Let the person in front of me know how stupid they are for being on the road at the same time as me, turds. Years ago I visited NYC with my mom and the cab driver stopped behind another cab at a light and honked repeatedly, even though the light was red. My mom asked why he was honking and his reason was to remind the other drivers to go when it's green. Live in NYC, work requires me to drive all over, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, Long Island, etc. 99% of the time there is a traffic jam. It is because an accident has already happened and everyone driving up to the accident slows down to get a good look. So, as I am nearing the accident, I honk in hopes of getting people to just drive normally past the scene. I never understood why people need to slow down and stare at the scene. This is the number one cause of traffic jam/slowdowns on the highways here. Depends on the reason. When you're seeing firsthand that someone is being a jackass, you can honk. Other than that, no reason to honk if you're somewhere at the back of the traffic jam. I sometimes honk as soon as the light turns green, then look over my shoulder to indicate the driver behind me did it. Harmony. See, I know the pitch of my horn, and if I can time it right, then I can harmonize with other people's honking. Then, once other commuters have realized that the beginnings of an impromptu jam session are taking place, this is the theory, at any rate, they'll start adding their own instruments. The closest I've ever come to achieving this took place in a tunnel just before the Golden Gate Bridge. Mind you, there wasn't much intentional harmony, there was just me going beep, beep beep beep, beep, and then about a dozen or so cars responding with beep beep. Next time, I'm going to try for If You're Happy and You Know It. Mostly because I see people moving forward by about a dozen yards. Except the car in front of me, because they're staring down at their cell phone. It makes me feel like I have a little bit of power and control in an otherwise powerless and control-less situation. However, I've also heard that the sonic energy generated from honking one's horn can be harnessed to help the vehicles in front move quicker and more efficiently, thus assisting in the traffic flowing more effectively. There's probably an anxious guy or two up ahead that has enough space to move forward, and the horn will trigger his anxiety and he'll squish forward enough to let other cars move. Many times traffic jams are because some fucking idiot won't move. Sometimes two cars involved in a fender bender will just stop, get out and talk while still in the lane. Accidents should be moved to the shoulder. If you are the idiot and you hear the roar of 1,000 horns, it might make you move out of fear. I join the ranks because I am soldier in the traffic army fighting for the flow for everyone. Trying to get the person in front of me to realize traffic has started to move and they need to get off their phone and stop using some stupid app to change your appearance to post stupid selfies. Or to quit watching TV. Or to quit FaceTiming. Or to stop drifting into my lane. Or to quit playing with the phone's GPS. Here in New York we're just honking because the person in front of us is an idiot. Whether they actually are or not doesn't matter, in that moment they are the biggest fucking moron on earth and it's my job to let them know by honking. Traffic jams clear up one dickhead at a time. It's not volume, it's the dickhead in front of you playing with his phone or trying to creep into another lane instead of waiting for a gap, and the dickhead in front of them, and the one in front of them, and so on. People in general are garbage at judging and maintaining a consistent speed and follow distance, so they bunch up. Add to that the ones who don't pay attention and the ones who don't care, and you've got a traffic jam. I think cars need 3 different horn sounds. Look out, you're doing the wrong thing. 10/10, you're doing the right thing. Someone up there is really cocking this up, can someone honk at him? Kinda like people who pull halfway into the intersection on a red light. Like, the light doesn't change faster just because you're impatient, but if you wanna roll halfway through the intersection only to wait 10+ seconds to actually go when the light turns green, perhaps maybe you just shouldn't drive. Light turned green one time and half a second later the SB 1000 laid down on her horn and tried to swoop around me. I honked back. We were going to the same place and arrived at the same time. Go figure. The light is green. You are obviously unaware of it because you are off in La La Land. The light is going to be green for only so long, and I'd rather not wait here for an extra 60 seconds because you aren't paying attention. The nice, quick honk is to alert you that the light is green. I'm sure you have places to be as well. Drive in Jersey and you'll find out. A lot of the reason for the traffic is because people turn into mindless turds in traffic and putt-putt along at their own pace instead of keeping with the flow of traffic. I'm honking to say, wake the fuck up, there's 8 cars, and growing, worth of space between you and the car that was right in front of you. This is also what causes the other assholes to weave in and out of lanes dodging traffic, which of course leads to more traffic. LOL, people in New York honk, even when they know why you had to stop. Geez, this city is so fake. They are so pissed off 90% of the time, and yet so beholden to social conventions even when they have no desire to uphold them. More often than not, I do it to raise the blood pressure of other drivers. I used to be a guy who got mad when I was stuck in traffic. Then I realized I was traffic. And I figured even with a traffic jam it was faster than walking or taking public transit, which would also be stuck in the same traffic. And I also realized that my race home every day wasn't a race. What was I racing towards? Not a brain surgery or to save someone from a fire. I was racing home to browse Reddit, or do laundry, or just kill time before going to bed and repeating the same shit over and over. I got a new job that I don't hate. And I chill on the drive home. When traffic gets bad and people start with the horns, I join in and laugh. I think it's funny that other people are freaking out. Maybe I'm a prick, but at least I don't lose my shit over something that's going to happen day after day after day. Conversely, people who don't honk at those who are sitting at lights more than 5 under the speed limit, cutting you off, or generally just not paying attention / driving like assholes. Why aren't you honking at people who need to be honked at? The horn is a tool to get people's attention and lets them know when things are not right, whether it is their express fault or not. I spent some time in Lima, Peru. People honk like crazy there, and all the noise from the street starts to wear on you if you're accustomed to moderate amounts of quiet. Anywho, there was one pattern I would recognize. This guy did it every day. Beep, 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 beep. Repeat x10. Hated that guy. Sometimes we just need an emotional release. Shouting into the void isn't technically productive, but it feels great. Me. Personally, I prefer to yell from the depth of my lungs when I get 3 red lights in a row. You might hear it outside the car, but it doesn't have many implications for traffic.